Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Spears on Point. I am your host, Tony Spears, and this is the show where, because the internet is a lawless wasteland, I talk about anything and everything I want to talk about because it's my show and I can talk to whoever I want to. But that's not the point tonight. Like, we're not here to just like rain anarchy on everything. We're here to bring a spotlight onto like very specific people. Okay. My like goal in life, one of my passions in life is finding people that are into very specific things and talking to them about those very specific things. Because one, I find the passion for things very like it's an intoxicating effect. Right? Like when you meet a person that is so into something that maybe you have no purview over whatsoever, you get this effect of like, oh man, maybe I should be into this because this person who I like and who I'm talking to is very much into this thing. But also it throws so much information at you, so much knowledge, right? And with the amazing segue of using the word knowledge, I want to introduce someone that I feel like is as much into podcasting and as much into the content creation space as I am, if not more. And that person is the one and only Joey B. What up, Joey?
Oh, what's up, Switch? What's up, Spears on Point? What's up, audience members? What's up, everybody?
Oh man, like, you know what's funny is like you exude this like this camera and microphone presence, man, that I really wish I could get behind, like get for myself.
It's my only friend, dude. It's my only friend. 37 years old, and I'm friends with cameras and microphones. That's it.
But it is truly a superpower. Like, I don't care what anybody says. It is an ability to be able to like get in front of a microphone and just like, you know, get in front of a camera, get in front of a microphone, and like the thing that you're trying to put out there, you're just like, yep, this is what we're doing, and you can just sell it. Everything I've ever watched you record, whether you posted it or didn't, like, you were just out there selling it, bro.
Yeah, man, that's what you got to do. I mean, for me, I went through a long period of time when I was on college radio, when I was on internet radio, I was wicked hesitant, I was wicked timid, and then all of a sudden, I was just like, you know what? I don't have to fake it. I just got to do it. And as long as you just do it and you stop thinking about it, when the green light goes on, it's time to go. And I think a lot of it too is, I'm a musician at heart, man. I've been playing guitar since I was 15. We did local bands, church basements, VFWs, Battle of the Bands, all kinds of things. And I'm like a natural performer. It's like my outlet.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things like someone puts a guitar in your hand and you're just like, okay, I'm home now. And you can just strum and just get at it. And that's great. And I think that's one of the things that created the gravity between us. So for a little bit of background, for those that don't know, so Joey and I met a couple years ago, but about 2 years now.
Damn, it has been a couple of years.
Yeah, right. It's weird. It's weird to think about it, right? Because it seems so. It's like everything that we got going on still seems so nascent. But it was about 2 years ago we met. Right, we met through our mutual friend. We met through Mono Hive.
Shout out to Mono Hive.
Yeah, and we connected, and it was funny because Mono was like, "Hey, man, this is a dude that I think is on your level when it comes to like your ideas for content creation and stuff." And I was like, all right, let's see it, everything. And I remember I was laying in bed and I was messaging you on Discord and we're going back and forth and everything. And you're like, yeah, man, like the phrase you used was, yeah, man, I'm just a dude just trying to take over the world. Just like out here, like just like trying to put my foot down and get this place set up.
That's it, man.
And I was just like, oh snap. I think he actually does have my mentality when it comes to this.
We had a
So
lot in common real quick too. I mean,
yeah,
I do recall actually that it took about like 4 or 5 times for us to actually connect.
yeah,
And
it was
it's
a
at the
lot of
point where I was like, who the hell is this I flip at a switch and why is he wasting my time? And all of a sudden you get on the call and like you're giving me the info. You're telling me what's up. And I was like, all right, this dude knows what's up. And I was listening. I was like, hell yeah, I need to collab with this dude for sure.
yeah, and then it was a not a not a, like an instantaneous thing. I did have to think about it because I've had a lot of failed projects in my past, and
As it is,
yeah.
right?
And so I was a little hesitant when like you were talking about blind knowledge and everything, and I was like, I don't know, like I've been attached to other people's projects, and I've been attached to my own projects that didn't quite go the right way, and then after a while, I was like, you know what, man, nah, I like the vibe that this dude is putting out. I like what he's trying to put forward, and also the overall like mission statement for blind knowledge.
It's a concept, dude. It's a concept.
Yeah, and I feel like it's something that like a lot of people can get behind, where it's like it's not just about like being entertaining, and it's not about just like, hey, we're out here to get the yucks and the chucks and the like we're out here to have a good time.
Right.
It's also about like we're trying to like put information out. Like we're trying to like either inform or educate you about something that maybe you didn't know about. And maybe
Entertainment at an intellectual level.
yeah. In the words of the immortal LeVar Burton, it's edumatainment. It's like
Absolutely, dude.
yeah, it's a form of like I want to make you chuckle and I want to make you laugh and I want you to have a good time, but also you're gonna learn something by the end of it, whether you realize it or not. Right.
Yep.
I think so much of like what is defined by our generation. You and I are the same age, and like so much of what is defined by our generation is defined by like reading Rainbow, right? Where like
Yeah, sure.
it's so much of a dude just sitting in front of you and being like, hey, today we're gonna talk about like this book, and you're also gonna learn about this like really cool random thing and random fact. So
Yeah, they kind of slip it in there.
yeah, so like. Like sorry, I just realized it because I brought up reading Rainbow. So the as a dad, right, you have two young kids and you're trying to engage them with educational content. You're trying to like appeal to like a more screen based generation while still trying to put forth like something of like value, right?
Yeah, you're instilling you're instilling that power of thinking, of learning, of adapting, of knowledge.
exactly. And I found that on YouTube you can watch the entirety of Reading Rainbow on YouTube, right? So I have my kids start watching Reading Rainbow on YouTube. The very first episode of Reading Rainbow, I can't remember the book that he was talking about, but the thing that I remember them talking about was like early Reading Rainbow reminded me of do you remember the show How It's Made?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
It was up there with Mr. Wizard, though.
Yes.
1, 2.
Yes. So the early Reading Rainbow episodes were very much like, here's a thing that you didn't know, like how it's done. We're going to show you how it's done. And
Yeah.
I was living in Tennessee at the time, as I am now. But
Tennessee Tony
yeah.
from Texas or somewhere.
Yeah, that was the best moniker I've ever been.
Texas Tony. Yeah, it was Texas Tony from Tennessee.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, I'm from California, but okay.
He's from Cali.
But the very first episode of Reading Rainbow is about bowling balls, and and the bowling balls are made at this factory that is in Hopkinsville, Kentucky, which is actually right down the road from me. And so at the time when I'm watching the episode with my kids, I was like, oh shit, this is right down the road. I could take my kids to this factory.
You live in the middle of nowhere?
No.
It sounds like it.
No, well, it's not really the middle of nowhere. It's if you go by the locals definition,
30 miles away.
No. If you go by the locals definition, it is the gateway to the New South. And
Okay. Okay.
honestly, it's only like I'm probably 35, 40 minutes away from Nashville. Like it's
Okay.
and the town itself has grown actually quite a bit. Like it's kind of crazy. I could probably compare this place to like I could probably compare Clarksville, the town I live in now, to like probably a Stockton, maybe a Sacramento, like back in California. Like
Wow. Okay.
I don't
I had
know.
no idea. I had no idea. I
Yeah,
almost moved there.
I mean, yeah.
I may still do that. That may be in the works. You never know.
Hey man, listen, I don't have a spare bedroom anymore, but I know some I know some really good I know a couple good realtors. I'm just saying. I'm just
I'm gonna
throwing it
have
out
to
there.
sell the hell out of blind knowledge. By the way, blindknowledge.com is the spot that is hot. Just wanted to say that.
Oh man, then that's the other thing too is like another thing that I admire is how like at the turn of a hat, like I'm pretty sure I could take you with me, and we could go meet the Pope,
You
and
know, it's
like
funny.
we
You
would.
say that, but you don't know me when the camera's off. Well, you kind of do. You kind of do, but you don't know. We've never met in person, and
I
I
mean,
think
no,
there's a
not yet.
difference. Well, you not yet. Yeah, for sure. I eventually we definitely will. But there's a difference. I mean, there's definitely this persona thing that happens when the green light goes on. I'm not like a totally different person, but in my real life, in my like when I walk down the street, I'm not like yippee ki yay and like just like Mr. Out there. I'm
So are
kind of
you
reserved.
telling me that you wouldn't put the cell on the Pope?
I would have a friendly conversation with the Pope. I wouldn't try to sell him on anything. I think he's kind of set in his ways.
He said, "I'm not trying to sell the man anything. He's like
No,
he's the mouthpiece to God. I have to like I got to get in there. You know what I mean? Like shake some hands. You know, say what's up. I'm not trying to sell the man anything."
yeah, at least this Pope isn't as scary looking as the last one.
True
You
that.
remember
True
that?
that. True that.
That guy had to resign. The Pope resigned. When I read that on the news, I was like, the Pope resigned?
Yeah,
That, that's a whole.
it's a position of office, the same as anything else. I mean, technically, the
I thought it
president
was
can
a
resign.
position of God. It was like
I mean,
God's will.
it is. But if we're being honest,
Apparently, it's
the
like being
church
a
is an
senator.
office. Yeah, I mean,
Oh, it's a very influential office as well.
yeah, it's probably the most influential office. But
Yeah.
that's neither here nor there. So, what I do want to ask
Shout out to the
Joe,
Pope, by the way.
yeah, I mean, yeah, shouts out to the Pope. But let's dig in a little bit because
Yeah.
like some of my audience probably doesn't know you the way I know you as far as like different projects and stuff that we have worked on and everything, and stuff we're gonna work on in the future. There's a whole lot of gray area. Like I've talked about you before on previous episodes of the show on the
That's nice of you.
the previous three. Well,
I appreciate
you're
that.
you're an
That's
important
kind.
part to me getting back into the content creation space. If I'm being honest with you, brother.
Right
Like,
on, and I'm glad you're here. I'm totally 100%, 110% glad you're here. I know you got something special, and I can't wait to see where this goes, dude. This is cool stuff already.
but I do want to kind of get to know you a little bit better as far as like, so like you brought up before, like you're a musician at heart.
Yeah, man.
So when you say that, like what is it that gets young Joey B to pick up a guitar and say, "Hey, man, I love music. I'm gonna focus on this."
Oh,
Like
that's a good
take
question.
me down that journey.
That's a tough question, man. I mean, for me to go ahead and pick up a guitar, it's an emotion, it's a feeling, it's a vibe, it's a slowed down, very deep thought, very deep feeling. It's a way for me to um, basically get things out of me, if that makes sense. So, like, some people write, some people go to the gym. For me, whether I'm feeling happy, sad, glad, mad, whatever it is, that's going to come out in the guitar. That's going to come out in the kind of chords I play, how fast I play, and the style I play. And it's therapeutic. It's a release of energy is what it is, and it's the most creative, soulful way to do it, because not only is it good for me and healthy for me and therapeutic for me, it usually helps other people too. People dig music, and that
Yeah.
just makes it all the better.
I mean, music's like mathematics. It's a universal language, right? Like
Right on.
you can play music anywhere in the world and people will understand it.
Yeah,
You
no
know.
matter what kind of genre it is. Usually, I mean, I've never ever met anyone that doesn't like some kind of music. Have
Yeah.
you?
No, no. I mean,
If
like,
that person exists, if you're listening or watching right now, I want to interview you because
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think
I need to
that's
sit down and have a conversation with like, why is it that you get no joy from any sound? Like
but
that's
seriously, that's like an interconnecting thing for humans.
yeah, for sure.
Is we love music.
Yeah. But so like what is your earliest like interaction with music? As a child, right? Or like, like young adult, teenager, whatever it is. Like
Yeah.
when's that moment that you realize like, oh snap, I got this I have this instrument I can play. Cuz I have no natural talent for music. And a lot of people say, "Oh, anybody can learn to play the guitar."
It's hard.
Anything
I tell
anybody can
myself
sit down in front of a piano or whatever, but
that's even harder. But Tony, man, I taught myself how to play guitar. I took 6 months of lessons. For me, I grew up with all kinds of genres. You know, my mom was into classic rock and into like even just kind of 80s stuff, like anything from Pink Floyd to Duran Duran to Rod Stewart. And then like my first concert was the Beach Boys. I
no
used to listen
shit.
to
You saw the Beach Boys live?
I was 5 or 6. Yeah.
Brother, that sounds freaking rad.
Yeah, man, that was my first concert. My second concert was Rod Stewart. You know, my on my dad's side, there was a lot of musicals. There was a lot of you
Oh,
know,
okay.
I listened to Rent, and I was listening at like an early age, listening to the Village People and disco and like all this wacky stuff, man. Not no pop really. You know, Michael Jackson. And then as I got older, you know, I always had a Walkman. I always had a Discman. I always had music on because my childhood was kind of messed up. I don't want to go that way, but I needed a distraction. I needed a balance, and I needed a way to come back to reality with the ups and downs and the emotional roller coasters and all the drama and the chaos of what was happening around me, even at a young age. Things I couldn't handle, things I didn't know how to handle, didn't even know what was happening. Music always grounded me,
Hmm.
no matter what the genre was. And I was always learning. I had cassettes, Hootie and the Blowfish, dude. Boys to Men, LL Cool J, Coolio, and then eventually I heard, I heard Guns N' Roses, dude, and I heard Sweet Child of Mine. I heard the solo for the first time. I got goosebumps at 15, and I was like, I want to play that, and that's when I started.
Yeah, I mean like Sweet Child of Mine, that's probably a top 10
Oh, good.
like
Slash is so
guitar.
good.
Yeah. I always point people to like if you want to hear just gut like speaking of Guns N' Roses, you want to hear gut wrenching emotion through a guitar,
Yeah.
it's the guitar solo from November Rain. Like
Oh, yes. The whole mood changes in
yeah.
that guitar
It,
solo.
yeah,
Becomes darker.
yeah, it goes from this like real somber, like slow melodic tone and everything, and then suddenly you're just in it, and it's just it turns into this typhoon of emotion, like
Yeah.
like through the guitar and everything. Yeah, it's a
That
that is
breakdown.
a bit yeah that breakdown it is a banger for sure.
Yeah, man, and that's where I started. And I took lessons for 6 months, and used to have a lot of panic attacks as a kid. So I couldn't do the small room thing. I couldn't handle it. Like I ran out of the room every time. I was like, I can't do it. I'd end up sweating and shit. All right, can I swear? I hope I can
Yeah,
swear.
go ahead, man. Rock on.
We'll edit that post. All right, cool. Um, yeah. So eventually, you know, I took 6 months of lessons. I quit the lessons, but I didn't quit the guitar. And I kind of just started listening to it, and I kind of learned how to play by ear. It's kind of the slow way to go. But over time, like I taught myself, and then I started playing with my friends, and they were all learning together too. And one of my friends was a savant, basically. When I was 15, 16, we're playing in my garage. We had the cops called a couple times when we were playing TNT by AC/DC.
That means you're doing it right.
Yeah, looking back, yeah, my mom was pissed. She's like, "Who called the cops?" Some lady with a stick up her butt, but um, Yeah, no, that's where it started. Then we were playing in the basement, and then I went to an all boys school, and a really really good high school. I got really not lucky, but I got really. I'm grateful that I went there. Let's put it that way. Um, it's a top stellar. It's one of the best high schools in the country, and they had a music program, so I learned theory really early on, sophomore year. And after school, I'd be over at my buddy's, who's the savant, and we'd be playing punk music, and then we started a band. And like for me, my mind is always going, so I'm always trying to build. And he's writing the songs, and I'm just adding guitar fills, and I'm more of a rhythm guitarist. Over time, I can play lead, but at the heart and soul of me as a guitar player is a rhythm guitar player, chords and rhythms. But nevertheless, it just built from there. And then we had one of the best drummers in the state playing with us, and then all of a sudden we're booking shows, and then I'm booking shows at VFWs, and that's how we bought a PA. We bought $1,000 PA because I booked 2 shows at 2 VFWs in a church basement.
This is all in
At,
high school.
as 16 and a half, 17. Yeah.
Making
Yeah.
making moves, brother. Making
That's
moves.
what I was, dude. I was banging and clanging,
Yeah, man.
and having a lot of fun, man. Having a lot of fun, and looking back and just thinking about it now. I mean, it was some cool times, and we're playing emo stuff, and we're playing punk stuff, and we're playing some cool distorted stuff, and then we're playing acoustic stuff, and it was kind of all over the place, and it was just really fun.
I
It was
mean,
really fun.
you're playing what feels right at the time, right? Like, that's the great thing
Yeah.
about music is like, like bands that are signed to a label and signed to a specific image, if you
That
will.
was the dream, dude. That was the dream, was to get signed.
I mean, yeah, I mean for sure that's everybody's dream, right? Like it
But it was a
doesn't,
different business then too. It was
yeah.
a different business.
But like when you're playing music to play music, when you're playing, air quotes here for the love of the game, as it were. Like
Or the chicks
you're
too, the girls.
I mean, yeah, that's definitely a fringe benefit that a lot of people don't talk about. But
It helps.
yeah, but like you're playing what feels right. So like you're just you're
Yeah.
playing whatever,
Well, not
whatever's
just
fitting
not
the mood.
really. Not really, not totally. Not what feels right. We're writing what feels right. We're
Mm.
playing it together. We're playing it cohesively as a band, because I got it when I hit the 2, Mike has to hit the 4, and then I have to come back on the 1.
But
And Ryan has to be there on the
are you
1.
guys
And when
doing
you know,
any like original music, or are
all
you
original.
just? Oh wow, okay,
It was
awesome.
all original.
That's
Yeah, we were
amazing.
writing our own stuff, dude. Yeah.
That's good shit.
Yeah.
Well, so
And
then
that's what I do today. I write my own stuff today.
So there's an alternate timeline where like you and I don't meet because you're a big time like at this point music producer, right? You're the Dr. Dre of your little sphere,
Maybe
and
in 10 years, you never know.
hey, it could still happen, but like there's an alternate timeline where Joey B becomes a rock star.
Well, I was recording in studios at 17. We went to the Arts Institute, and we were there for 24 hours. We won Battle of the Bands a bunch of times, so we got free recording hours because we couldn't afford shit. So we would win these contests, and we would get the hours, and that's how I learned how to record. And you're in there with the engineer, and then you're watching them how to produce and like how to do the audio, and asking questions. And we weren't the kinds of kids like 16, 17 that were screwing around smoking weed, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but we weren't like joking and stuff. But we weren't dead serious. We just loved hanging out with each other. We had a ball, but we also like loved music, and we loved making the music. And I don't think we knew why. We
But
just did it.
But it sounds like there was a focus. There was a
Total
yeah,
laser.
like we're at A, we're trying to get the
Okay.
Z, and we gotta hit the gates and hit the steps in order to reach that goal.
Yeah, but no drill sergeant stuff. But it
Well,
wasn't
no,
fluffy either. But it
yeah,
was just like it was all good vibe. But it was focus.
yeah.
It was definitely focus.
No, and that's good because like there's so many stories and so many people that you meet that like, you know, either like had a shot or had what it took to hit that next level or whatever. And really what it comes down to is just a lack of determination or a lack of focus, a lack of discipline,
Yeah,
which,
for me, man, I wish, looking back, I wish I didn't go to college right away after high school. I wish I had taken a year off and hung out with the band because I think that would have been not only more fun, but I think we could have done some cool things.
so then do you feel like the experience of like being in that setting, right? Like you're basically seeing how the donuts are made. Okay, like you're in the
Yeah,
studio, you're seeing how the recording is done, like you're seeing how like all the
learning.
instrumentation. Yeah, there's this learning process going on. Do you feel like that's what has like brought you into where you are now? Because the one thing I do know is that you do have a background in radio. You do have a background in
Yep.
in live production. So do you feel like that's what pushed you into that direction? Was that exposure?
Yeah, totally. Totally. That laser focus was one thing that I learned really early on from the high school I went to and from the band stuff and just my overall like studiousness, I guess. you know, like um even today, like I look at Blind Knowledge as a band. That cohesiveness, the vibe, the collective. We all have to be on the same page. That's how it works. That's how a band works. If everyone isn't on the same page in a band, it's gonna suck.
Yeah,
And why play
it doesn't
music that
sound good.
sucks?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not gonna sound good.
yeah, it
Exactly.
doesn't sound good.
Yeah,
It's all
gotta
discorded,
be
and
on point.
everyone's on their own stage, right?
You gotta be on point, Mr. Spears. You gotta be on point.
Listen. I'm only good at puns. That's the whole reason the
I
name
think
came
that's the name of
about.
the show. Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's true.
yeah,
You got to be on point. One, two, three, four.
yeah.
It sounds simple, but you got to hit your marks.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I feel like, and again, when we're talking about like how you and I hit it off and everything, right? It's so much of understanding that like there has to be a shared vision, right?
Yeah, man.
Like
Yeah, you get that, man.
yes,
You get that.
like so much of what my experience has been in the military has been so much of like good leaders take a group of people, give them a purpose, a task, and a motivation. And then you set them off to complete a mission. Those three things together, purpose, task, motivation, drive them toward the end goal of accomplishing the mission, regardless of what the mission is, right? It could be
And
something.
don't you think they should be able to lead by example too?
Yes, but you have in my context, you have people that are in those positions to lead by that example. So
Fair.
you have
Makes sense.
your more junior leaders who would be your air quotes here, your middle managers, there to work with your to work with your, I don't know a good analog for it, for to work with your worker bees, as it were, to go in to set the example, to show that, hey, even the person that is in charge of me can also do the work as well. But I mean, that's getting outside of the point. The point being is that like having shared understanding of what the end state is an important part of getting to that instinct, because
Yeah.
the whole concept of like no one man is an island, right? It's 2023. No
Is it?
individual
Holy
person.
shit!
I
It's
know. I checked
2023.
my phone earlier
Hold on, I
today.
gotta double check that. Okay, you're
He
right.
said, "Oh God,
2023.
my bills! I have to check my storage. Oh
Oh,
God,
where's my 401k? Oh my goodness, golly
where's my
me.
401k? I should be a millionaire."
Oh, it's
But
down 25%. It's 2023. It definitely is.
yes, he said, "Oh, I just double checked. You're right. The year's correct."
Oh yeah.
But but in this day and age, in the space that we're trying to break out into, right? No one man is an island. Like no one is a Mark Maron anymore. No one
Can't do it
is.
alone, man. You can't
No,
do it
no,
alone.
you can't, because the thing is like there's not enough time in the day, and there's just not enough people to cover all the bases, and that's why you
No
have to
one
have that
cares.
shared.
No one cares that much about one person. I that's how I feel. Like I don't think there's like that star. these days. You know, like Michael Jackson.
Well,
Everyone loved Michael Jackson
I
when he
mean, to be
first came out.
fair though, that's the star. You're
Right.
like you're comparing like schmoes like me to Michael Jackson. There are like degrees of
All right.
separation there, like way
Oh, we're
beyond
getting
it.
into standard deviations and stuff here, man. Let me
Yeah,
get my pro track.
I mean, no, but only because, and the only reason
I feel you.
why I pick on that particular analogy is because like when you look at a Michael Jackson, right? Michael Jackson is the dude that took music, that took pop, and
He was a
and
savant.
and reformed it
He
into
did.
something that could appeal to everybody, which is not something that pop was before. Like pop was very much skewed toward a particular audience, a particular age, a particular
Well,
demographic.
Tony, he started dancing too.
But
He
that,
added a
but
caveat.
and that's the thing is like there's so many different elements that he adds in, right? And there's so many different ways that he puts his own spin on and his own essence and personality into the genre to where it ends up defining the genre. That's why he's
You
considered
know
one of the
when it's
greats.
you because you know when it's Michael Jackson
Yeah.
as soon as you hear it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, you could have, like, my kids recognize Michael Jackson's music now. Like,
That's awesome.
all this
That's
time,
awesome.
yeah, all this time, right? Like, like a complete disconnect from the actual source material. But, like, my kids recognize Michael Jackson because they understand there's a different hit, there's a different beat, there's a different tempo and melody to the music to where when it
Or a
starts.
Whitney Houston or a Mariah Carey. It doesn't have to be Michael Jackson. Some people might not want that
No,
example.
I mean, yeah, but if you're looking at the example of like the tippy top, right? The people that are like redefining it, because even still, you're
Stars.
looking at
Stars.
Whitney Houston, you're looking at Mariah Carey. They're taking influences from people like Michael Jackson,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly. They're learning from them.
Exactly, and so it becomes a thing of like, where do you separate out the influence from the individual?
That's a good question right there, dude.
And
That's a
and I feel like in this day and age, the actual like the age old adage of like I used to use this all the time, and I stopped for a while because it started to piss me off. But now I use it. I use it now presently because it is true, and it actually acts as like a bit of like pathos for myself. Is like there hasn't been an original idea since 1985, and it's just because like there's only so many things that you can create
yeah.
until all the things have been created, right? But the thing is you can take that idea, right? You can take Thriller and you could put your own spin on it if you wanted to.
Yeah, you can
And
remix it.
yeah, you could remix it, you could add in new moves, you could do a million and one things to Thriller. And there are going to be certain people that are like, I don't like this. This isn't Michael Jackson's Thriller. I don't want to watch this garbage. But there will be some people that say, hey, I really like Thriller. But I also like what this guy's doing because he's doing something different. And he's
That's
putting
what
his own.
that's what a lot of music is right now too.
Exactly.
Like Skrillex, like Bass Nectar, like all that kind of DJ, like lo-fi, all that
Yeah.
remixing.
So
Just taking
it's
samples.
a lot of recognizing that like you don't have to recreate the wheel. You don't have to make the next best thing.
No, it's
since-
evolution.
Yeah, you don't have to make
Revolution.
the next the best thing since sliced bread.
Right.
You just have to make a thing that has your mark on it. And
You don't have to, but maybe you can.
I
You
mean,
never know.
I mean, yeah, you can after some time, and I
But
feel
everything comes from something, right?
yeah, but and so much of innovation is brought on from imitation, like you emulate for lack of a better word copy a thing for long enough, and then you as the individual can look at it, break it down, and say, okay, what brought me to this in the first place? I like aspects A, B, and C. Okay, I can take out all this other filler. Maybe I can add in X, Y, and Z that I want to do. That is kind of my idea, my
Your
own
own special sauce on
yeah,
that,
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
My own little, Thousand Island with some pickles in it and everything.
That
And then
sounds good.
I know it's delicious, isn't it? Anyway, And then
Toast the bread,
I know, right? 2 patties. Can you believe that?
grilled chicken. Ooh.
But then you put that mixture together and you put that out there, and then people, and then there's a certain number of people in the audience that'll say, "Hey, I like this because it reminds me of this thing, but it's got this spin on it because of this guy." And I also like
Yeah.
this person, this individual, because of X, Y, and Z. Maybe their personality, the way that they think, the way that their creative process, or the way they express ideas and things like that. It adds in the flavor. You know what I mean? The secret,
The
the
zest.
yeah, the seven herbs and spices, if you will,
Yeah.
of the individual.
Yeah. True. True.
And
I agree
I
100%.
feel like that's a lot of what you've got going on over at Blind Knowledge, where like if we're being completely honest, like the concept behind Blind Knowledge is not wholly unique,
No, it's
but
not.
but it is different in how you're gathering different content creation into your into your group, into your sphere, and also like the types of content that you're trying to create.
It's
And
formulaic, is what it is. I mean, it's the vision. It's a mission, not a mission, but it's a vision. It's a concept that we're trying to get out there in the way things are right now in the trending content community. Content is what it is right now. That's the big thing. Ever since Facebook started back in shit, when Facebook you had to have a college you had to have a college email, Facebook, when I
yeah.
was 18. And now I'm 37, which is scary.
Mm-hmm. Well,
But
I'm right
that's
there
when
with
it
you.
all in MySpace and like all that stuff. That's kind of when it all started. But like I think like for me, yeah, you're absolutely right. The concept itself isn't it's not new. Like yeah, formative entertainment. I mean, yeah, that sounds pretty cool, but it's just the way I'm trying to do it. I mean, you can do that with music. You can do that with writing. You can do that with drawing. You can do that with photography. I want to do it with content.
Yeah, and and that's what, like, that's the gravity that after meeting you brought me into this fold. Is like I believe in that vision. Like I believe in the, like, you can be entertaining and you can allow people to have a good time, but you can still also like teach them something and inform them.
It's like the Reading
And
Rainbow, dude.
yeah, exactly. Like that that is so much of
You're Mr.
what.
Rogers for our Mr. Rogers fans.
Yeah, no, and you're absolutely right. It is so much of that where like there's a there's a very formative period in our generation that comes around with like Reading Rainbow, with Sesame Street, right? With with Mr. Rogers, with uh
Oh, there
freaking
was such good entertainment in TV back then. It's
yeah.
like they don't even make it
Ugh,
anymore.
don't even get me started.
That's another
We could
thing. They
go
just
on.
got. It's like Power Rangers has been around forever. I don't get
Oh
that,
my
but
god.
that's nevertheless.
We could have a whole Power Rangers conversation
I
because
had
I just
Power
watched a
Rangers
video.
underwear, towels. I was. It's morphin' time, bro.
Hell yeah. He said it's morphin' time. I gotta go to bed. But
Tommy, White Ranger.
oh, man. Oh, the a banger that is still in my head to this day is the Green Ranger fight music. The whole like go Green Ranger, go Green Ranger, go Green Ranger.
That'd be
Oh
a
god,
cool sample.
brother, it was so good at the time, but he was still evil, so I didn't know how to feel about it. But
We
anyway,
got to find that audio and make it a bed. We can make it a background
oh,
audio track.
well, there we
That'd
go.
be
I mean,
cool.
I'm sure we can find it somewhere. The internet
We're
is
gonna write that
vast
down.
and deep, but but yeah, but that's what so much of the gravity was when I first met you, because like I do want to take those pieces. I do want to take the pieces from like Reading Rainbow, from like the Sesame Streets, from Mr. Rogers, from Lamb Chop, from all the things that like helped us
Man,
to.
child.
I mean, but really though, it was the things that taught us that like you can learn in your own way. You can have fun while learning, but also don't be a shitty person while
Right.
learning, right? Like,
Now that's a big thing right there. Be a good person, have morals and values,
mhm.
have a heart.
Yeah,
Think
and I
think
feel
outside the
like
box.
that's what so much of content is lacking now is
Oh yeah, it's
like
so cold.
yeah, and so much of it feels like it has to be polarized.
It's very
It has to be,
sexually, it's very sex, it's very shock. It's very
yeah,
like that guy at the bar, you
yeah.
know.
And again, that's really what sold me on the vision for blind knowledge was like, okay, like we can just be here to try and like at the end of the day just try and help make better, more informed people. Like,
When you write a song, right, Tony, when you write a song, usually there's a reason why you write it, but usually like really good musicians write songs to get a message out. Like Tom Petty did that a lot.
oh,
Like Jimi Hendrix did
I
that a
love
lot.
Tom Petty.
Yeah, like there's a voice. And that's what I've always been into. That's the musician in me. It's like that's you know, you can give lectures, you can read books, you can do all kinds of things, but to have a voice is huge. And especially in 2023 where everything's so polarized, even though there's so many outlets and access points to get your voice out there, it's kind of tough to do by yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
That's why the whole collective thing, it's like a big band. And content is, like I said before, like photography and artistic stuff, like that's all content. It's just a big umbrella of content. It's just like how do you use that? How do you shift that clay into something cool?
Yeah. And it's
What's the message behind what you're doing? What's your voice? What are you trying to portray or relay? You know,
Chuck
I
McBeef
think
said
that's important.
Chuck McBeef chest said free Freeland.
Chunk McBeef Chest, dude. Shout out to Chunk. Love Chunk McBeef Chest. Greatest name in the game.
I mean, honestly, it's one that sticks with you.
You can't forget
When
it.
I hear Chunk McBeef chest, I'm just like, Jesus, this man has his branding down. No one
When
else
I
is going to be able to get past that.
exactly when I first saw the email come in and rolled in, I still know exactly where I was. I remember this moment. I was like, Chunk McBeef Chest. I need to know what this is. First, I thought it was spam. And I was like, wait a minute, that is a fantastic name. I don't know what it means or what it is or who it is. And then it turns out to be an adult. I thought it was like a teenager
He
or
said, "This
something.
is a person."
It's like a very articulate, intelligent person too. Like
Right on.
like you wouldn't think a Chunk McBeef Chest would be a high IQ individual, but Chunk McBeef Chest is a very smart individual.
Turns out.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
All right. So I think with that, we will take a quick break, a quick fiver, if you will. We're gonna take
Fiver.
a quick break. We're gonna freshen some things up, and then when we come back, we're gonna dive more into blind knowledge, and we're going to dive more into what it is that makes Joe tick, and we're going to dive more into how I taught myself to play the harmonica. So when we get
I
back,
can't wait for that,
oh
dude.
man, it's well,
Can
only
we get
because
Chuck McBeef Chest in here too? That'd be great.
I mean, I'm sure we can find a way. Only way to
We should
get the
try.
name is high IQ. I mean, listen, if it comes from, listen, it was said by Chunk McBeef Chest. Obviously, it must be true. So we will be right back. Boop. All right. And we're back. Once again, time and time again. I always think of that line every time I've ever done that where I bring a scene back to the OG scene that I was starting in. I think of the it's a quote by Snoop Dogg. It's like, here we are once again, back again, time and time again. I can't remember what it's from.
Time and time again is a Cotton Crows lyric too.
Yes, it's.
Just throwing that out there.
I mean, you're not wrong. I'm just trying to think of where.
1, 2, 3 into the boat.
Yeah.
Dog and Dr. Dre is that the
Oh man, don't even get me. Okay, so you know what? All right, no, you open this can of worms. So now we we gotta get into it. But real quick, for those that are just joining us, I am here with Joey B, founder of Blind Knowledge, dear friend of mine, and also a person that I feel like if there are radio waves that link people between their brains, this man is on the same AM bandwidth as me.
Oh, totally AM bandwidth for sure.
But that being said, now you have brought me into a subject of great contention, my friend. One that I feel like we have to cross this Rubicon. Okay.
Well, let's cross this Rubicon, whatever a Rubicon is.
Like that's like what you would consider like a grand crossing, like a
Rubicon. That's a great word. I've never heard
an expedition. Anyway,
cool.
So if you had to break it down to the 5 most influential albums of your life to you personally, what are they?
Counting Crows, August and Everything After.
Okay.
Is one of them.
All right.
Appetite for Destruction.
Oof. So good.
Guns N' Roses. Anything Jimi Hendrix. All right, let's call it greatest hits. MF Doom, Danger Doom, Danger Mouse, all that. The album, if we're gonna do specific albums, would be Danger Doom with the Aqua Teen Hunger Force when they did.
Bro, I love Aqua Teen Hunger Force so much.
that album is friggin' awesome. I was listening to it earlier. Crosshairs is one of the best songs. I love MF Doom. So that's 4. Like 182 was My Age Again.
Oh man.
Or Damn It, the one with Damn It on it.
That was hold on, I'm trying to think of the album. Hold on.
Yeah, I can see the album cover and I can't think of it.
Hold on, I'm gonna bring us over to.
They just played Coachella.
I heard they got back together.
Tom was there too. Yeah.
Yes.
That would have been awesome.
Yes, it would have been. It wasn't there. No, Take Off Your Pants and Jacket was the one with Damn It.
No.
It wasn't?
No, that one was not. It was the one before that.
Enema of the State?
No, it was the one before that.
Hold on.
Actually, I'm going to throw Dave Matthews Band in there too.
I do love some Dave Matthews Band.
Dave Matthews Band is a great live show for sure. But you can see, like, my music, my genres are all over the place.
No, and that's a well-rounded taste in music, my friend.
Like today, I was listening to Lil Wayne in the shower.
That's what I'm talking about.
Getting pumped up.
Hell yeah, you gotta
selling some Numo Specs. Numo Specs Media, by the way. Check us out.
I'm trying to find the. No, it was Dude Ranch. Dude Ranch has Damn It.
Dude Ranch, yeah, that's the one. I wanted to say Dookie, but that's Green Day.
I do. Chicos in the chat says, I do not listen to any Dave Matthews. Question, what about music formats?
How about the Used? Does he like the Used? Music formats? What do you mean?
Yeah, Chicos, expound on what you mean by music formats.
I mean, like verse, chorus, bridge?
Yeah, and then Chunk and Chica says he loves the Used. Chunk McBeefchest says, if you were going back that far, you should add in Goldfinger. Goldfinger is pretty legit, honestly.
Goldfinger is legit. 99 Red Balloons by Goldfinger. The cover is fantastic.
She said formats make a huge difference in its sound.
Yes.
Okay, so
totally.
So are you talking about in the method that it's like recorded?
I think they're talking about like if you do intro verse for 8 bars, then chorus for 4 bars.
Okay. So Chico says, I love older music, but I need it in FLAC files. So basically, he's saying that like you need like a lossless recording of the music and everything, cassette, CD, MP3. Okay, yeah. So we're not okay. So
actually,
so we're
FLAC
not getting anything else
is,
with Bear.
iTunes. I think that's iTunes.
Yeah. because like I listen to everything off of Apple Music, right? Like I have
Same.
a family account, and it works that way.
Same. I got the student account because I'm in school. I'm actually 2 classes away from graduating.
Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you, sir. I'm pumped.
Yeah, I mean, you should be pumped. You're right there at the end. No
Yeah,
iTunes. iTunes is AAC.
Ah,
All
I
right.
see.
So
What is
then,
that?
Chicas, give me an example of a service that provides FLAC.
Yeah, let us know.
AAC streaming is 250-ish KBS. It's awful.
Which is unnecessary. It's too high.
Yeah. Deezer, Tidal, Kobaz, or Cubos. MP3 is 350. Yeah, that's true. Like I just had this conversation with a friend where he's really concerned about the way that he is doing his video recordings. And hold on, quick transition.
See, people think in frequencies that the higher the better, but not always.
Yeah, and I told him with video because he's trying to go like 100% 1080 60 lossless, and so he's trying to do
How big is that file? Jesus.
57 gigs, and I'm telling him, I'm like
57 gigs.
yeah, and I'm like, brother, this is not necessary. Just do an MP4. And he was like, but it doesn't look as good. And I'm like, listen, you have to think about your method of delivery.
Yeah.
You're not stamping disc to go and push out to people. You're putting it on YouTube, and it's going out to the masses. Yeah, half of them are going to watch it on their phone. So who cares if it's in 720? Just put out the content, and that's where it comes to that line of like.
Oh, I get that. I would want 1080p. I would want lossless for sure. Especially,
I mean, I would rather have a smaller resolution.
And it could be too digital.
Yeah,
because then there's the difference between analog and digital too.
But I would rather have a smaller resolution at 60 frames a second, as opposed to a higher resolution at 30.
It'd be smooth,
yeah,
for sure.
And that's the thing. Like you want it to look natural, and 60 is the best frame rate to get a natural look. Whereas opposed to like 30, it looks kind of janky and not.
Plus on a
janky.
TV versus a phone versus a screen, like an iPad versus a monitor versus Skywriter.
Chico says files. It depends on what you try and get. I'm listening to music at the highest res on Soplid equipment, so it ruins my YouTube experience. It depends also on your equipment. I use
a vinyl record player, bro.
An R2R digital to analog rate, so I do love my music sounding analog.
Right on.
Yeah, and that's that's the thing is like, I mean, when it comes to music, yeah, exactly. There's a different yeah, I mean, and it's funny how that is the definition that so many people use is like there's more warmth to the music at that point, because when
there's a difference.
Like when I'm listening to music, it's in the car or it's in a pair of earbuds that are just absolute garbage.
Everything's through a phone. Everything's through our garbage headphones. Like there isn't that, like no one has a surround sound system anymore.
No, and that's the thing. Like no one's doing hi-fi, right? Like no one has like. I was just talking earlier with someone where I was like, I want to get a vinyl record player.
I do too now.
But then I don't know what I'm going to do as far as audio for it, because I don't have a stereo system for it. So like you spend $200 on a good vinyl record player. Now you got to spend another $300, $400 on a good like hi-fi system for it in order to get the proper sound out of it. Like where does that end? That's a whole different aspect of how you're listening to music, you know. Chuck McBeefchest says that's why you need at least 8 tracks. Yeah, you need an 8-track. Wait,
8-track or 8-track?
He said 8 tracks, but I took that as an 8-track player.
That's like a mixer.
Because I listened to a lot of music on my grandfather's 8-track, and that shit was awesome. I listened to...
Yeah, you can have 8 tracks or 42 tracks. It doesn't really... I mean, it does matter. It depends on the kind of music, too.
I remember listening to Elvis Presley's Blue Hawaii on 8-track and thinking that sounded amazing. Oh, yeah. Oh, he had some stuff. Now, looking back, I'm just like, God dang, man. Some of these were really... Like, he had a couple Merle Haggard 8-tracks all kinds of stuff.
What's Elvis's famous sandwich that he likes?
It's a fried peanut butter and banana sandwich.
Oh my goodness.
You can still get it at Graceland. You can still get it there. Oh,
I'm
yeah.
about to have
they'll
it
make
in my
for you.
kitchen.
You should. It's delicious. Chica says, I disagree. I'm using crazy planar magnetic headphones, but it also depends on what you want to get. I use a DAC and an amp and my files on my headphones. But that's the thing though, Chicas, is like,
Does he line in?
And yeah, well, I'm sure he is, but that's the thing is like,
or direct in,
like you're taking the additional steps, and that's cool. Like you can take the additional steps, brother.
It can get very complicated and technical.
Yeah, if you're trying to get like that, like the most lawless, he says, of course I use 4.4.
Right on.
But like if you're trying to go for like that degree of like audio quality in order to get the most out of your music, like by all means, dude. But all I need to do is Chuck McBeef Chest says his preferred sandwich is peanut butter and heroin. Well, maybe in the later years. Yeah.
Didn't he die on the toilet?
He died on the toilet. Yes, he did.
Bummer.
Where can I get the Kurt Cobain special?
Oh
God! I was about to say Academy Sports.
Never mind. That album was influential. I actually read Kurt Cobain's writings. There's a book that was released where it's all of his journals and his like you can see where he was like writing his songs and it's some pretty messed up stuff, but it's also pretty awesome at the same
Kurt
time.
Cobain was like, regardless of what people say, like yes, he made some amazing and incredibly influential music, but Kurt Cobain was a troubled soul. Like there's no doubt about that. Like,
I think the best musicians are kind of.
Yeah, I mean, look at Jimi Hendrix. Look at
the whole 27 Club. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at Amy Winehouse. You know.
Yeah.
Substances, mental health issues, just kind of not being like comfortable in reality with life.
Yeah, because you're trying to paint your own picture of it. And it doesn't.
I think it's deeper than that, man. I think it's just like it's an overall like trying to understand what it is, what life is, and trying to be and being unable to be and having to voice that in some way.
Mm-hmm. I could definitely see that. I could definitely agree. Where can I get the? Oh man, Gigas, you're killing me. Okay. So, aside from music, all right, I feel like there's another medium that influences people a lot when it comes to like the way that they perceive things and the way that they're formed and they're shaped. So then, my question to you is: 5 influential movies, like movies.
5 influential movies.
Movies, film. Like you don't have to be specific.
Robin Hood.
The
Kevin Costner.
Okay, all right, solid.
Absolutely. Aladdin.
The animated movie?
Yep.
All
the
right.
original. Okay. Robin Williams. Robin Williams is one of the best ever, by the way.
I completely agree.
Jeez. I'm kind of stumped. Crap.
You got Robin Hood. You got Aladdin. That's already a wide deviation in like genres and taste. You went from Disney to, was that Paramount? Hold on.
I'd say Armageddon, but I've seen it a million times.
Who cares? It's still an amazing freaking movie.
I'll put Armageddon up there.
Oh, Armageddon's so good. Robin Hood, it's Prince of Thieves, of course.
Yeah, Prince of Thieves. Yeah.
That was
not Men in Tights.
Yeah, well, I mean, Men in Tights is good. Let's be real now.
Yeah, Field of Dreams too. I'll throw that on there.
Field of Dreams is really good.
Yeah.
Where is it? Hold on. I'm trying to find out who directed, not directed, but the producers. Well, it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme,
I'm
I
like
guess.
blanking right
Oh,
now.
I forgot Morgan Freeman is in that movie. God damn, that movie is so good.
Oh yeah,
We didn't
I think he
deserve it.
was like 30 or 35, and he looks like he's like.
Oh no, I just got done watching, like, literally right before I hopped on this call with you. I just got done watching Dracula 2000, and when I tell you that is a very young and very virile
Oh, Grease.
Gerard Butler. Oh my god.
Gerard Butler. Grease. Put Grease up there.
Okay, all right. That's a solid pick. Grease is good.
Is the word.
Ooh.
Is the word. That
So,
you heard.
hold on. You did mention musicals before, and I do love musicals. Like,
Yeah,
I have one that is near and dear to my heart. What is your favorite musical?
Grease.
Is it Grease, really?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Cool.
I'm not crazy about musicals, but there's some good ones are. Rent is cool.
I mean, yeah, Rent is very good.
Yeah. It's more the soundtracks, though. The soundtracks is what I'm into.
I mean, Grease is an all-time banger, if we're being honest with
It was
ourselves.
always on in the background. That's what my parents and their relatives and their friends were listening to. Very eclectic growing up. All kinds of folks.
Lots of musical influences.
Lots of different kinds of people and different kinds of influences and different kinds of habits. Let's put it that way.
I mean, yeah, there's a bit of that in every family, I think.
I grew up pretty quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You got one more movie left.
Yeah, it's a football movie. I can't think of it.
Friday Night Lights.
No, not Friday Night Lights. Although that's a great one.
That is a great movie. Remember the Titans?
Remember the Titans. Yeah.
Yeah, Remember the Titans is a classic, truly.
Well, ladies love Denzel, man. And,
I mean,
and
who
I
doesn't
love that
though?
movie.
God, I mean, the dudes love
I
Denzel
know.
too. I just saw
wish
the
I was
trailer.
Denzel.
I mean, shit. I just saw the trailer for The Equalizer 3, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go see that. All right, let's go. Man, you want to talk about a amazing performance. Speaking of Denzel, everyone points to like Training Day, right? Which, don't get me wrong,
Oh,
like amazing movie,
that's a good one too. Yeah.
like amazing movie. Denzel, top of his game. But for me personally, if I'm going Denzel, like you've got me on this tangent now because I'm thinking of like movies and stuff like that. If I'm thinking Denzel, it's Man on Fire. Dude, Man on Fire, oh my God. Man on Fire was so good. Like, that's a movie where, like, you go and you watch it and you're just like, damn, Tony Scott figured it out. Like, I don't agree with everything Tony Scott does as a director because a lot of the ways he does, like, his shots and, like, different, like, panning to different, like, scenes and stuff like that isn't by most standards coherent, but man, that movie was so good. Oh, so good. And the book is even better.
There's something to be said about movie production too, like the way things are.
Oh,
like,
dude,
shown.
I realize now, like at this point in my content creation journey, that like a lot of my friends that were making like home movies, as it were, back in the early 2000s and stuff like that.
Oh, remember home movies with the little tapes? Man.
I remember. But
and Kodak films.
A lot of my friends that were doing that, like back in the early 2000s and stuff, like like shout out to my friend John Soares.
Shout out to John
because he had the proper vision in order to make something work with the technical limitations at the time. Because at the time he was just working with like, hey, I'm gonna put this mini VHS into this camcorder and we're gonna rock out, and then I'm gonna splice all this crap together. Like, he was doing the hard work
by hand.
I mean not by hand, but like the whole like rewind it, like splice this over it, like fast forward, get to this scene, like make like loop this over it, that kind of crap.
See, I have no idea how any of that works,
brother. He was doing the hard work, and now looking at it, it's so much. Like there's so much of it that is like, been digitized, and like you have things like After Effects and all these different, mediums to go through and change it up and just streamline the whole process of like video production.
Digital, man.
Yeah. But John was doing like the hard work, and now, like he works in movies. He he
That's
works in in TV and stuff like that, and I look at it now, it's like, man, he was leagues and bounds of what I was able to even like conceptualize when I was first starting down this path, you know what I mean? And it's so funny, like now looking at it, I look at the stuff that he made when I was in high school, the stuff that he made, and I was just like, man, I couldn't make that now. There's no, like, even with the tools I have now, there's no way. Like, I don't have the vision to see it from an outside perspective. Like, there's so much of what you take for granted as the viewer. As the viewer, you see the scene and you're like, oh, cool, it goes like this and it goes like this and it goes like this. But like being behind the camera and visualizing the scene in its entirety, that's a completely different skill set. It's a completely different skill set, and it requires a different type of like, it requires a different mind. You know what I mean? And that's
I don't
and,
have my mind.
yeah, and that's why you have that's why you have the Spielbergs and the Tony Scotts of the world.
It's a different personality trait though too. Like I just did a personality test, like one of those personality tests, and they give you the 4 letters that you are.
Oh yeah.
Apparently I'm a visionary. That's my personality type.
I see it.
I think of things and I try to figure out how to do them.
You are a thinker, Joey. You are a thinker.
But if I try to change a tire, man, I'm calling AAA. No idea what I'm doing.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, but like I figure out ways to get things done.
Yeah.
You know. What would your personality type be? Just curious.
I did that.
We should actually get you to take one.
Well, no, I did it before.
Did you take one?
Like,
okay.
Yeah, it was like a couple years ago. I did it, but I am.
Are you a chocolate beef chest?
No, I'm not quite that brilliant.
No, not many of us are.
No,
I'm
Man on Fire is one of the best movies. Yeah, and yeah, Chunk McBeef Chest comes into the chat. Man on Fire is one of the best movies. Yes, see?
I gotta check it out. I gotta check it out.
It's a great film. No, mine was the. It's like something like the steward, like so essentially like a person that like organizes things, which kind of plays. Which honestly, when I took the test and everything, I was like, it's kind of BS. Da da da. And
was it free or paid?
It was free.
Of course, it's BS, man.
Okay, well then.
I don't know. I have no idea.
But a lot of it rang true, where it's like you're the kind of person that wants to bring people together for a common cause.
Okay.
And can like
camaraderie.
Yeah. I mean, basically
Leadership.
For lack of a better word. But which does play into a lot of what I am like currently working on and stuff like that. Like I'm trying to get I'm trying to get, a couple different events together later on in the year, and
you're in this with me, man. You're my right hand man.
Yeah.
Blind knowledge.
I mean, and that's I'm over here trying to herd cats with you.
You are the Shmee to the Captain Hook.
Mm.
By the way, Hook is a great movie.
Yeah, yes it is. You have Robin Williams, you have Bob Hoskins, you have, oh my God, I can't remember who played Hook. Who played Hook? Oh my God, that bothers me that I can't remember who played Hook. Who played Hook?
Is it the same guy that played
Dustin Hoffman? It was Dustin Hoffman. Yes.
Was it Dustin Hoffman? Wow.
Yes. God, that movie is so good. Yeah, Julia Roberts as Tinkerbell. Oh my God.
Julia Roberts. Oh man,
that movie is so good.
Prime Julia Roberts was so prime.
Maggie Smith was in it. Oh man, so many good. You know what's crazy is what is it? There's that urban legend about Meryl Streep being in that movie.
No,
okay, so I'm gonna take it back a bit. So when like he's disciplining the crew, right? And he puts them in the boo box, which is just the big trunk where they drop the scorpions and shit into it.
Yeah.
You know the pirate that they put in there, where they're like the boo box, and they're like, no, not the boo box, like that whole bit. That's Meryl Streep in makeup.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Like, I think Meryl Streep's overrated, personally.
I mean, everybody is willing. Everybody is entitled
throwing that
to
fastball
think.
out there.
Someone watching this right now was like, gasp!
Yeah, someone just
clutch pearls. I mean, I've liked her in a few things that she's been in.
Oh no, she's an excellent performer, but I just don't know if she's. What? Wait, actually, you know what? I take that back. She was Cruella Deville
Yeah.
in 101 Dalmatians, so I take that back.
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag Meryl Streep.
Yeah. Also, she was in The Devil Wears Prada. That is a great movie.
That's a chick flick.
I mean, it's still a good movie.
Nothing wrong with that. Great movie.
Mm-hmm.
Chick flick. Chick flicks are cool, I guess.
You know what's funny is about being married is the fact that like you end up exposed to a lot of films and a lot of other things that you wouldn't normally be exposed to.
Your other half,
Yeah.
the other side of
And
like.
what I can tell you
Yeah.
is that like there were a lot of movies that I watched during my marriage that I would not have watched otherwise. And one of them was like,
Like 2000.
oh no, that's 100% me all the way. That's
Right
100% me. I'm like, wait, there's vampires in this? Yeah, I'm gonna watch this. And the funny thing is, it's not even my first like, it's not even like my first memory touchstone for Gerard Butler. For me, that is like 300. Whenever I think of Gerard Butler, I think
300 was
think
great.
of 300. And then people were like, you know, he was in Dracula 2000, right? And I'm like, really? Who was he? And they're like, bro, he was Dracula. And I'm like, oh, okay. He was incredibly young, I guess. Like he was like in his like early 30s or something like that. But that's beside the point. But like you know, you get exposed to a lot of movies and stuff that you wouldn't normally watch, and you know, movies, music, activities, and things. So many great rom coms, bro. Like movies I would have never watched. I would have never watched Love Actually if I wasn't a married man. But let me tell you, that movie is great.
I've never seen it.
I will go on record as saying that Love Actually is awesome. Amazing cast, great story sequences. Frickin' I will go to my grave saying that Bill Nighy is amazing in that movie. Doesn't matter. If you haven't seen RRR, stop the stream and spend the next 3 hours making your life better. Oh man, well I will watch it after the stream. We're not gonna stop. We don't stop this train for anything. Chunk
Choo
McBeef
choo,
chest.
baby. Choo choo.
I'm just gonna start calling you Chunk for now on because
No, you gotta call him beef.
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 I smell like beef.
Beef. He's probably the head football guy. Beef.
Oh man,
It's actually like a martial art like master. Johnny Beef Chest is like just a character, man. This dude is talented.
a multifaceted man.
Yeah, I don't
Everywhere.
get excited for no reason. I mean, this dude does a lot. He does a lot. He's wicked smart. He's in effing Japan, and he's Canadian, which is just wild.
Chica says, "Can I give a shout out?" Of course you can give a shout out. Chica's friggin' send it, my dude.
Yo, man, send it.
We do shout outs all the time over here. I'm here to tell everybody who I
Shout
love.
out Nation.
This show is all about like not just like stories and the people on it, but also appreciating other people. Shout out to my boy
This is like
Money,
2 shows.
who gets married today. Yo, Juan is getting married today. Are you for realsy for real?
For realsy, for real.
Bro,
What
this Korean kid that I was stationed in Korea with. Hold on, is he getting married today? Like on God? Oh my God, that is amazing! I'm so happy for him. Well,
Congratulations. Congratulations.
hey, Money. Congratulations, my dude. I wish you many happy years and a long, loving marriage. Good on you, my dude.
Where are you getting these chats at? Where are people participating?
Oh, I'm over on Kick, my dude. Where
Kick.
where all the happening kids are. Here,
I guess Kick's the thing right now.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I told myself, are we really gonna do this Kick thing? And I said, let's do it.
It's pretty straight, and I like that it's on Restream now too. I did the Nemo spec thing right before this show, and I to test out Kick basically.
Yeah.
And it's a nice interface.
Yeah,
You know, it's pretty straight. Yeah.
I don't have a means to send. Well, if you look up my channel on Kick, you can see the chat. Sorry.
You know what I'm learning, Tony?
What's
is like, especially in digital content, no matter if you're podcasting, a video person, an interviewer, or whatever, if you're on too many platforms, you're spreading yourself too thin.
Yeah, man, it's like too much. It's like too little butter over too much toast.
Yeah, my dude. And like for us, a blind knowledge, like I'm gonna reel it back, and I think we're gonna get rid of the Reddit. I think we're gonna reel it in on maybe even to the Twitch too. I don't know.
Mm.
But then it's like, oh shit, there's Twitch, but it's like, where should it be? Where do you go? It's funny with podcasting. It's like you got to be everywhere. Who the hell is listening to all these different podcast apps, by the way?
I
Like
mean,
I
it's
don't.
not. It's not a matter
My
of
analytics, like yeah, who?
it, but it's not a matter of like who's listening to what. It's a matter of where they're listening. Like me, for example, right?
Well, that's what I mean.
Like I have a Android phone, right?
Oh, get it together, bro.
I don't.
Get your
Oh
get
my
yourself
god.
an
Oh
iPhone.
my god. No, not even close. Um,
Get yourself an iPhone. Get
no,
with.
I had an iPhone for the longest time, and now I'll probably never go back. But that's beside the
See,
point.
I'm the opposite. I'll never get an Android again. I don't think, if I can help it.
But like
Nevertheless,
I discovered Podcast Addict, right, early on, and it's a free app, and I like it enough to where like I paid the money for it. Like I paid the $5.99 in order to get it, and it's it's nice because like it I can find just about
why?
anything on there.
But you can find everything there on Spotify, on Apple. Why
It,
podcast
but
addict? Is it the
exactly, but there
interface? Is it
are
what
other
is it?
people like me. I don't want to listen to Spotify. I don't want to pay for Spotify.
I don't like Spotify either, personally.
And I don't want to, and I'm not using Apple Music. I'm not using Google Podcast.
No.
I'm not using Blueberry. I'm not using all these different podcatchers.
There's like 1,000 of them, podcatchers. Yeah.
Exactly. So in that instance, yes, you
Ghana.
do need to be everywhere. You do need to
In
cast
podcasting,
the
yeah.
wider net because you
What
need
about
to.
video? Streaming. Like, do you need to be on Twitch and Kick and YouTube and Discord and
I feel
wherever
like
TiVo,
I
Truvo?
feel like until a large enough competitor comes into the space, you do need to be on YouTube. I feel
Maybe
like
it's Sumo Spec, dude.
I mean, and maybe it is, and maybe Numo Spec comes in
Maybe not.
and Easter lunch. Who knows? But the
Hopefully.
yeah, but the truth of the matter is, like when you're looking at just the straight numbers in the current day, right? The biggest ones you're going to hit are Twitch and YouTube.
Yeah.
Now, things like Kick, like where we are here, right?
And YouTube will never go anywhere, by the way. That'll pretty much always be there.
Oh
I
no,
think.
yeah,
But there,
and
I think
that's the
there's an
thing.
ups. I think there's a movement and an upswing to, because there's Rumble, there's Kick, there's these newer interfaces coming out.
And a lot of it is people that are trying to not just make a competitor for competitor's sake, but also because
No, dude, they're trying to get into live video, and it's funny when we started I started the blind knowledge thing. You basically started with me. My big thing was live video.
yeah.
Like I want rolling video, and that was 2 years ago. Now you see TikTok doing it, Instagram's doing it. Like everyone's trying to get in the game, dude.
And
It should have been quicker.
well, no, but I feel like though that TikTok, like things like TikTok, YouTube Shorts, the like whatever the equivalent is on Instagram,
I think it's
and
gonna burn out.
yeah, well, not burn out, but like it's
It's
such
kind of
a
getting
like
flat.
it's like popcorn. It's like it's so much of like you're just like mom, 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 and you're consuming it, whereas like things like Twitch and YouTube and the other like like the other contents that provide the ability to use long form content are more like a meal. Like and I understand I'm not the average demographic. But for me,
Oh, you're the old dude,
yeah, I'm
like
ancient.
me. We're like the
Yeah.
elder millennials, basically.
Yeah, we are like currently crumbling into dust as we speak actually, but like when I'm watching stuff on like YouTube for example, okay? I'm you okay? Are you feeling it in your
I'm
knees?
crumbling into dust as we speak.
Yeah, yeah, like right now actually. But it's like that it's like a slower version of that scene from Raiders of the Lost Ark. But but like for me, when I'm watching stuff on YouTube, like a 20-minute video is the best thing ever. Like I sit down, literally I'm having a snack. I watch a 20-minute video, boom, I consume that video, and
with
that's.
with the ads.
I mean, yeah, like I mean, with the, I mean, I used to do YouTube Premium
I
when
did too.
it came with the music, with YouTube
Music.
Music, yeah. And then when that went away, I was like, I'm not gonna pay to get around ads. I'll just freaking, I'll wait my 5 seconds and I'll click skip ad, whatever, fine. It's, you know.
Right.
And there's a million and one people that will tell you, oh no, watch YouTube in a browser so you can use ad blocker. Look, man, I'm not trying to like, as a dude that is making content online, I'm not trying to dick people out of the 2 cents they're gonna get out of me watching an ad. Like it, and I know
But it still sucks.
I mean, yeah, it still sucks, but like, what
It
else?
still
Like,
sucks.
but like,
When you try to listen to a song on YouTube on the video, and you're like 50 seconds in, and you're getting to the chorus, all of a sudden, Chrysler has a new car.
Yes.
It's called This Awesome Car.
But I
now
feel
back
like,
to your regularly scheduled programming.
but I feel like that is also on the part of the content creator. I'll give you a good example. I listen to a lot of ASMR content. I have a hard time sleeping. Okay.
Oh,
So I listen to a lot of ASMR content because it helps me sleep.
that's
For
big right
some
now.
reason, the sound of a middle-aged man droning on about whatever, shout out to Ephemeral Rift, by the way, will just put me right the hell to sleep. What a lot of ASMR content creators do is they put their ads at the beginning of the video and at the end of the video. No mid-rolls.
Their ads.
Yeah.
Because YouTube and them, that's not just the ASMR artist ads. That's the industry ads too.
I mean, they're gonna do the automated ads.
That's
and
what
stuff like that.
podcasters do too. They stuff it at the beginning, which is dumb. No
But-
offense, but you really should do it 10 minutes in. But that's not going there right now.
Well, no, but I mean, but honestly,
Giving all the secret sauce away.
but like as a person that consumes content too, no, don't put ads 10 minutes in. It completely ruins my experience. Put the ad at the beginning. Put an ad. Put an ad at the end, because if your content is good enough, I will watch to the end, and then I will get to the ad at the end. And if I want to watch your content, I will watch the ad in the beginning.
And you know
Because-
it's coming. You already know it.
and I know it, and I know it's coming. I'll sit through the ad. Okay, fine, whatever. I do the 15-second stinger for whatever random mobile game is coming out. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then I
it's
I get
passed.
through that, yeah. And then I get onto the content. But if you have too many ad breaks in the middle of your content, at some point I'm gonna get freaking fed up. And it is also a matter of what the content is. If I'm watching Jacksepticeye, right? I watch a lot of his videos because my kids watch his videos and I think he's entertaining as well. But like, if it's a hour long video on his channel and he has 3 ad breaks at specific places, okay, fine. It's like a commercial. Okay, cool. I'm cool with that. Because, but you have to be smart about where you place it. You know what I mean?
You don't want to piss off the fan. That's a good point.
But if it's a 20-minute video, I don't need 3 ads in the middle of this thing. Like, all you're doing is making me not want to watch your video. Put an ad at the beginning. Okay, fine. Put your ad at the end. Okay, cool. We're done now. Fantastic. Let me watch your 20-minute video. Like,
There is
you,
like an
you
upper
have to be
scale up. There's an upper class thing, like not an upper class thing, but it's almost like a champagne thing, like like getting top shelf alcohol.
Yeah.
Where it's like when there's no ads, and then when there's ads, it's like, all right, Smirnoff.
Yeah. And it very much is a matter of like understand the content you're putting out
Yeah.
and understand where and when you should advertise. Because if you're doing an hour-long Let's Play, yeah, throw a couple ads in there because like you should be allowing for breaks. Because obviously if you're doing an hour-long Let's Play, you've taken breaks in the midst of doing your recording anyway.
A lot of times they don't do that though, especially on YouTube. They'll just throw it in somewhere.
Yes, and those are the people that don't get those are the people that are not like Markiplier or Jacksepticeye or like these larger content creators that are
It sounds like they have control, more control over their product too.
Well, it's not even a matter of control. It's a matter of understanding the pacing. Like it's the whole like what I was talking about with like being behind the lens, right? Being behind the camera, right?
Yeah.
Like when you're making content, especially for something like YouTube, you're thinking about the viewer's experience while you are also recording your experience in the video, because that's what people are there to see.
Right.
Is you experience whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's playing a game or anything like that. You have to look at it from two different perspectives, and placing your ads or like your breaks or like, you know, like different cuts in the scenes and stuff like that is all a matter of understanding how the viewer is seeing it. And that's
I
why
agree.
and that's
It should be
why a
soft
lot of
approach.
yeah, and that's why I like a lot of ASMR. Like, there's very specific ASMR content that I watch, because they understand that the person watching this probably wants the first third of this video to be uninterrupted, because that's when they'll actually go to sleep.
So let me ask you something. For that ASMR stuff that you listen to, do you listen to that on YouTube, or is it like on the Breathe app or Calm app?
No, I just watch on YouTube.
YouTube, and you just let YouTube run, basically.
Yeah,
You
I
plug
mean,
in the phone.
I have YouTube set to where like it's not gonna like autoplay, so
Yeah.
I'll just go and I'll put on the video, and then I'll just put it up on the shelf next to my nightstand, and I just let it play through the speakers.
That's interesting. That's interesting. I wonder how many other people do that. I'd love to hear
Oh,
more
I
from
know
those.
I'm not alone in that. I do know that a lot of
I
people
get it.
they'll put headphones in, which is the way that you should experience a lot of ASMR. But then
Or
like,
any kind of audio.
I mean, yes, but like there are like products for ASMR. Like, I've gotten so many like targeted ads toward like a sleep mask that has these incredibly thin speakers in it.
Yeah, I got my mom those things where it's like a bandana
Yep.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's like very soft headphones, and you can kind of just sleep on it's she loves them.
Yeah, and I've trust me, I've
I
thought
should
about it.
contact them. Maybe we can get them to sponsor Spears on Point.
That'd be rad. You know
By the
how
way, do you have an intro?
an intro? I mean,
Spears on Point.
I did the intro earlier. No, like not like a radio stinger. I don't have like a,
I don't either.
no, like, I mean, nothing like that. I've thought about it though. I thought about making something along those lines.
I'd love to help with that.
I would love your help in that, honestly. But with that though, speaking of the show, Joe, we've covered a lot of ground.
Yes, we have traveled the world
I
in this
know.
conversation.
And I feel like, I don't know.
Denzel Washington.
God, I wish I felt like Denzel Washington. That man's a millionaire. Can you imagine
God, I
what it
just wanna
feels like to wake up in the morning? You wake up in your bed and you realize I have $1 million.
I hope to have that someday, for sure.
Me too, brother. Me too. But
I'm knocking on wood and praying, dude.
yeah. But no, I think unless there's more ground.
Tony.
Yes.
Pulp Fiction.
Oh my God. Shoot.
Pulp Fiction. Anything Quentin Tarantino is pretty damn good.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong.
I don't know where that came from or what it has to do with anything, but Pulp Fiction.
Mean, if we're being honest, like Pulp Fiction is probably like, if Pulp Fiction does not enter the Criterion Collection in the next 10 years, I will be really freaking upset, because I feel like it is a movie that you can point to when you're looking at what a like standard of filmmaking should be.
What is the Criterion Collection?
Oh my God. So the Criterion Collection is a collection of movies that are considered like seminal greats in filmmaking.
Really?
Like whether it is through story, through cinematography, through through their impact in culture. Like the Criterion Collection is
Dropping some knowledge, dude.
Yeah, it is rather
I'm checking this out right
rather
now.
expensive.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna check this out, Tony. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, no worries. But that does bring us, Joey, to the end of this particular episode.
Oh.
So what I do want to do is give you the floor, my friend, in order to plug BK, to plug what you got going on, to just say hi to the people. Like, tell them what you got going on, brother.
Yo, what's up, guys? My name is Joey B. I'm the founder and owner of Blind Knowledge LLC. I'm also the host of the Blind Knowledge podcast. In the past, I helped to build a successful internet radio company. I have interviewed celebrities such as David Keckner, Kevin Sorbo, Seether, Killswitch Engaged, Andrew WK, the Suicide Girls, and many more. I dropped out of broadcasting and then came back because shit, insurance sucks. I love women. Tony is a good friend of mine. Chuck McBeefchest is my hero. And I want to thank you so much for having me on Spears on Point. I hope to be back soon. Check out Blind Knowledge. BlindKnowledge.com is the spot. That's hot. It's 18 active podcasts. We have two kind of quasi video forum debate things going on, and we're just building and building and building. So if you're a content creator, if you want to get involved in a cause, or you just want to see what it's all about, hit me up, joe@blindknowledge.com. We're also on Twitter, Twitch, everywhere. Skywriters. Yeah. So thank you.
Cool, man. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on. I've been meaning to have you on since episode 1.
Thanks
dude.
for having me.
And
I appreciate it. This was fun.
Yeah, of course. I mean, and of course, you're welcome to come on anytime. I do want to thank all the folks that were hitting us up in the chat. I want to thank Chicas. Chicas, my ride or die homie. If we're doing shout outs, right, I got to shout out Chicas. Chicas has been my ride or die homie in all my content creation. So shouts out to Chicas. Chunk McBeefchest, thanks so much for coming out, man, and saying what's up. Appreciate you.
Chunk McBeefchest. Sorry.
Yes, and congrats again to my boy Money out there, man. Just doing big kid things, getting married today. God, that's.
Yo, congrats, man.
But yeah, that is going to do it for the show. We will be taking a 1 week break because I am taking my kids on vacation to go to the happiest place on earth, Disney World.
Texas Tony from Tennessee, but really from Cali, is coming to Florida.
Yes, I'm a globe-trotting SOB, as it were. But
Tony, you're the man, dude. Thank you so much again for having me on. I just wanted to get that out again. And blindknowledge.com, you can see Spears on Point, Chunk Beefchest, and so much more. Hope to see you there.
Exactly. But that is going to do it for us for this week. I want to thank everybody that came out and supported. And yeah, you can hit us up over on Twitch, over on the Blind Knowledge YouTube. You can find me in the Blind Knowledge Discord. I'll put a link to that if you want to hit me up. But other than that, that is going to do us for this week. So thank you so much for watching. Have a great week. And I love your faces. Bye-bye.
Denzel Washington.